Hey all, Pixel here. Another quick bit of shop infrastructure before I can start in on the metalwork on the Oldsmobile quarter. In order to make the curved flange that I need, I picked these up. This is a set of shrinker stretchers from Harbor Freight. What these are for is if you put a piece of metal in here and push down on it, this one pulls the metal together. This one stretches the metal out, shrinker stretcher. And what that means is if you have a 90-degree bent piece of metal and you put it in here, as you shrink it and stretch it, you'll end up with a curve. For this one, you'll end up with a curve this way. This one, you'll end up with a curve that way, and it's how you can make flanges at the edges of things. So that's how I'm going to do that edge of the quarter, is basically with a 90-degree and mostly the shrinker. But these need to get mounted down. They have two threaded holes in the bottom. My plan is, and this was always part of how I built this table, I have these pieces here that are open at the end, and I have bought more of the square tube stock that fits in here. So the plan is to cut off some sections that can be slid in here that have one of each for each of these, that have these bolted to it, and then I'm going to drill a hole further back here that can hold a bolt or pin or something, so that the tool can be slid in and locked in place, and then it's being held by the weight of the table. These also, the way they're designed, you have a handle that goes in the back here, and that's how you operate it. It's a little awkward to be holding a piece of metal and also trying to reach back there. So I may, as part of this, or may as a later, try and figure out a way to change that up. I don't know if I can move the handle more towards the front, like by building a curved around handle or an extension or something, or whether I can change it to a foot operated piece. That's going to be a little complicated as a removable piece. But for right now, I just need to get these two mounted. I also have this Eastwood 20-inch metal brake that's been sitting in a corner of my shop for a while. So I need to assemble this and figure out a way to make it have some sort of mounting to the table as well, so that I can use it when I need it and then remove it when I don't. So I'm just going to get to it. All right, and that's assembled. Nice and simple. I literally cut two 18-inch sections, drilled two holes in them, and bolted it down. Same thing over here. The spacing is very slightly different on these. So this one I had to hog the rear hole out to just give me that little bit of adjustment. They're not dead on straight to them because I was just eyeballing the holes, but that's fine. They don't need to be. There's no precision involved. And then this is basically how they're going to mount. And I just need to put a hole through back here that I'm going to put, like I said, a bolt or a pin or something through. And once I've drilled the hole for the first one, then the second one's going to get slid in, and the hole's just going to get drilled in the same, through the same hole. So they'll both line up just fine, and that'll be more than sufficient to hold this in place, because there's not a lot of strain involved here. Like this does not put a lot of, even with a piece of metal in there, this does not put a lot of strain on it. I'm not like forcing something down or whatnot, so this will be 100% perfectly acceptable mounting. And what I'll do, I think, I haven't decided this part yet entirely, but what I've been thinking about is taking these, when I take these out, I may add a little bit of a rack to the side of this that they can just drop vertically down into to hold them out of the way, and then they'll take up basically no space. They'll be completely out of the way up there, and that'll make my life nice and easy. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Yeah, I think I need to drag the table forward to drill that last hole. All right, you saw me with those, drill the mounting hole through the table, and now I can just slip a bolt in there and those will stay in place. I assembled the metal brake. This comes with this, which is designed to clamp into a vise. So I think for the moment, that's going to be my mounting solution for this, unless I come up with a better idea. This could theoretically end up permanently mounted on one end of the table or semi-permanently, but I don't see a strong need to do that right now. So I think I'm going to just use it in the vise like this. So now, yeah, I'm all set with my shrinker and stretcher. They're ready to go. I may end up drilling a hole in the other end of the table so I can put the second piece in if I find myself having to go back and forth between them to save myself having to mount and dismount them. But that's a future me problem. But yeah, so these are all set and ready to be used. That's all set ready to be used. I'm not going to worry about modifying those handles or anything yet. I want to try using them first and see what might be better before I commit, and then we'll go forward from there. So that's going to be everything for today. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.